Morning, guys. Say morning, it's still morning. 10:41. Get on that. About 73 degrees in here, 75 outside. All right. Most of you guys know that I've done some. I worked at a collision shop and wanted to do restorations because I like old muscle cars, like doing this stuff. You know, there's obviously no money in this type of stuff. It's more of a hobby for me. So, but having done the collision stuff, restoration is quite a bit different. I mean, obviously, still do body work, still weld, same stuff, but there's a lot of different in collision. We used acid etch primers. We didn't use a lot of epoxies and stuff like that. Just a lot of difference. Never had to lead one of these seams. Never did any of that kind of stuff. So this was new for me. And so I decided, you know, I'll do my homework and see what I see on the internet and stuff like that. And it's like everything else that I've seen in this restoration stuff or auto body. You ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. I was going to fiberglass filler this, short strand fiberglass, and many guys have said that's fantastic, good way to go. Then I started reading, some guys are saying, well, you got two different types of material there. You've got metal and you've got fiberglass. So when you put that in there, you get your paint work all done. It's sitting out at the car show. The sun's beating down on it. You got metal that's expanding at a certain rate, and then you got fiberglass that's expanding at a different rate. And possibilities that the different expansion rates can cause problems with your paint, may show up in the paint, could crack, which makes sense. It makes complete sense now that I'm, you know, thinking about that. Alternatives are lead. They make some stuff called metal, all metal or something like that. There's several different alternatives to that, and of course every one of them there's been negative stuff written. This stuff doesn't work, it lets loose, it's not good, if you don't get all the tinning flux off, your stuff won't adhere. And so yeah, it's not cut and dry. It's not, which I like cut and dry. I don't like all these, well, if you don't do this, or if you do that, or if this doesn't adhere, you know, okay. Yeah, you got to clean your surfaces like freaking perfectly and the whole deal. So most of the guys are saying, and I watched a James Freddy's video, and he said the lead or the lead substitute is superior to fiberglass. Sounds like he's used fiberglass in some vehicles, but he's saying the repair is a superior repair to the fiberglass. And as you guys know, I'm trying to do a superior job on this car. So I'm kind of pushing now towards the Eastwood. They've got a lead-free solder kit, and haven't heard too much about it one way or the other. But supposedly the solder is metal basically, and so when it expands at the same rate as the, or not the same, but close to the same rate as the roof and the cell panel. So you're not going to have the problems you would have if you had a different type of material in there, like fiberglass or whatever. So now I'm kind of thinking I might go that route, but I'd like some input from you guys, and especially guys who have done this repair. Wendell, Shut Your Face Garage, guys like that do this kind of stuff day in and day out. Tell me what you think and what your experiences are, because man, I don't want to do this again, and I sure don't want to have it painted and have the guy bring it back and go, man, it cracked all the crap right there on the cell panel. I mean, that's a main area you see. So this is pretty important that I get this right. You can see when I was standing there, I've got this all welded in. It's not pretty. I ground it down. This was all jacked anyway, so I mean, I just tacked in where I could, tacked in here. All that's going to be covered. And it did penetrate through. I could see from the back side. I burned all the EDP off the inside, and it penetrated good, so I'm not going to have any problems there. So now it's what to fill over this, and you can see maybe you can see that. There's probably a good, maybe not a 1/4 inch, but pretty close to it, probably gap through there that I'm gonna have to fill with something. And you know, we don't like to use fillers here. Yeah, that's different. I had that sitting on the wrong area. Anyway, it's still, I don't know, an eighth inch or more, which, you know, you could fill that with fiberglass filler and that'd probably work fine. It's even smaller in some areas. But my question is, over here it gets a little bit deeper. My question is, to the guys who've done it, what do you do? What's worked? What are problems you've seen? So what I think I'll do is go ahead and weld the rest of the panel on and just do what I can do. I'll come back to this, not going anywhere. Hell, I can put the whole other side on and have these two sitting and do this last. So I'm not in a big hurry. I want to do my homework, make sure this is done right. I watched some videos on how to put the lead-free solder stuff in. It doesn't look that hard. I mean, I know a lot says you have to have skills, certain skills, whatever. Maybe I'm pissing in the wind here, but it doesn't look that hard to me. Now, after I do it, I may come back and go, wow, that was harder than I thought. But so that's basically how I'm going to start the video. Just kind of give me your opinions on that and tell me what you think. And I'll keep going. When I get some more stuff done, I'll bring you back. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, another little deal for you here that let's figure out. Most of these welders come with just this regular round tip, which when you're trying to weld down into this channel like that, it doesn't want to jive. You probably could weld from underneath, but I had popped holes in this little deal here. And like I said, it just makes it really hard to get your stick out on your metal is pretty long. So I had bought this some time back. It came with these as an Eastwood deal for plug welding. I didn't figure I'd ever use this because I thought, well, I mean, I plug weld just fine with the regular tip, but I did like these little clamps for the plug welds. But just figured out this comes in real handy for basically getting down in there. It'll let you stick all the way down in there quite a bit farther, so you guys can see that. See how that kind of goes down in there. So anyway, I don't think the whole setup is very expensive, but just for these, that made it worth it to me for that little tip right there. And yeah, I know, Tom, if I'd have had a spot welder, I could have done that a whole lot easier, but I don't. So eventually, maybe. But anyway, yeah, that's a hard area to weld down into. And again, these welds aren't perfect, but you know, I'm gonna grind them down. They did penetrate well. Let me back this up a little bit. I'll show you the penetration underneath. Yeah. I think you can see it here. Let me get this inside here. You can see there, they penetrated pretty nice, especially that one come through real good. Anyway, so yeah, this is another little tip or whatever on that, because I was thinking, man, how am I going to get down in there without one of those little spot welders with a small tip? And that worked out perfect. So I'll probably use that same tip for these here because it's a little smaller, and we'll be able to get down in there. All right, guys, see ya. Hey guys, I'll give you an idea how these little guys work. I put that same plate back underneath both panels, and it gets hot as hell, so it's working pretty good as a heat sink, and it's taking away the heat from this area here. So and you can see the welds here. While they're not amazing, they're not too bad. And yeah, I just scratched that weld through primer away with the little screwdriver. Comes off pretty easy. You can see there. I'll just work all that out of there and then blow it out. And I turn my welder up so I get good penetration, and while having this little backing plate here to catch the heat, which it does, because it gets pretty hot. But again, it takes away from it. This is perfect. There's no warping, there's no nothing in here. So it's working out pretty good. Just another thought, another idea. If you guys hadn't thought of a backer plate for some of this stuff like this, some guys may not want to, but it's working for me, so I thought I'd throw that in there. All right, guys, and these deals here work pretty good too. I've got these here, and they work good too. You know, they do the same thing. So, but these are just a little smaller, not quite as bulky or whatever, and so they work pretty good. All right, see you guys. All right, guys, I got one more of these to do. I was just thinking about something. These holes, as you can see here, it's hard to tell how big that is, but that's a pretty big hole. These holes here are smaller, the ones I punched with the little one, and then of course you can see the size difference between that one and that one. Why I put a big one there, I have no idea, but I did. So then you can see the little one versus that big one. This is completely opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I know you get more weld there and it probably gets hotter and all that, but my thought is that may be overkill. If you figure the factory has a spot welder and they just spot weld that, and the tip is the only thing that's hitting it. If you ever look at spot welds, they're about that size. They're not that big. You're putting a lot more heat there. It takes a lot more. It's just, you got more chance of blowing away. That right there seems like that would be, and you know, when I'm doing these, I'll actually get to see. But I bet it gets just as good a penetration, probably going to hold just as good. Like I said, that may be overkill. And that'd be a lot easier to just weld that sucker in as opposed to that one there. But just my thought. Like I said, I don't remember what size that is versus that size. I had it in a video before. I actually measured them out. But yeah, those little ones seem to do pretty good. And like I said, just my thoughts on that. You know, the factory spot welds them with those big spot weld deals, and they're about that size right there. So I don't know, just a thought. Might save you some weld time, and like I said, blowing through and some ugly welds and all that. So all right, see you guys. All right, there it is, all ground down. Did these two up inside there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play with this little area for a minute before I start welding all that in. See if I can get that a little closer where that where these panel gaps come together. May pull that out and see if I can work that up a little bit, since all that up there is welded. I'm not gonna move around. We'll see what happens. All right, see you. All right, there it is. That's not coming back off. Give me some welds up there. Got me some welds down there. Jack that panel up a little bit. I clamped these to where I could keep them where I wanted. Kind of jack the panel up. Ended up getting it up, moved up a little bit, not a lot. You can still see a little bit, but like I said, the bumper's going to cover that. So, but yeah, gaps are not too bad.
This still needs to be welded in here, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. Got this pinch down here. I don't know if you can see. There you go. It's still up a little bit right here, and the only thing that's holding it up is right in here, under here. There's a flange that comes out. I think I may take this back off since I haven't welded it yet, and maybe pound that flange down just a little bit right there. Try to drop it so that'll go ahead and come down and be nice and crisp. Other than that, yeah, she's almost there. I got to do the fender weld underneath, weld that up, and then got to weld all these under here. So that'll be a lot of laying on my back, which I may just may put it up on the lift and weld that. It'd be a whole lot easier on me. So that's probably what I'll do. No sense in having a lift if you don't use it. So I think it's welded on enough now that it's not going to move anywhere. So probably wouldn't move anywhere anyway. But yeah, it's welded down pretty good. So we'll get her up there and finish welding her, and I'll bring you back. Hope you guys are having a good one. See ya. Hey guys, couldn't leave it alone. Had to tinker on it some more. I got these lines here pretty damn close. Just maneuvering, trying to pop up and clamp down and push out, and just working it some more. So, but I think I'm gonna leave it alone because the more I mess with it, I may go start going backwards. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I had this welded so it didn't move, and then in here I just got clamps on the back side so I could actually top it in and out and get it to hold where I wanted it. So yeah, like I said, you're never gonna see that under the bumper, but it looks pretty good. And once I get this welded in, I may go ahead and kind of tap down on this a little bit to get these lines just perfect. But yeah, I mean, not bad for a Taiwan panel. So all right, just been tinkering with that. Probably go to lunch. It's almost 3 o'clock. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so just sitting in here tinkering. So all right, I'll holler at you guys a little bit later. See you. Hey guys, I guess my subconscious must have thought I needed a challenge, because you see down in there where this panel comes together, yeah, I forgot to pop holes in that on this side, and so I had to drill holes from this side, which was a pain trying to get in here to drill the little holes out without popping all the way through. And then on top of that, I literally had to hold my welding torch upside down and try to get it in here and actually weld like this, which was a bitch, and at points in here like this, trying to weld to get it all filled in good. So yeah, not that I'm a great welder anyway, so welding upside with my torch upside down is even more of a challenge. So yeah, I guess I thought I needed a challenge today, so there's my challenge for the day. But it welded in good, looks good. Well, I don't know about looks good, but it welded in good. So yeah, all this is welded up. I got this hole to weld up, but the rest of this is all welded. Got to weld these and then grind this, and then I got to weld this little panel back in. Remember, I took that panel out. I got to weld that back in, and I'm thinking, yep, from here I can actually get that nozzle. I don't know if you guys watch my previous videos, but Eastwood sells something that has a long nozzle, and I can get that nozzle back in here. And so once I weld this, it'll be bare on that side, and then I can stick that nozzle up in there and just spray the shit out of that and coat that so it's not gonna rust through here. So anyway, all right, that's it for now. I've been going at this all day. Pretty good progress. Like I said, I'm no speed demon, but it's looking pretty good. So that's about it. I'll talk to you guys a little bit. Hey guys, that's probably it for me today. Went ahead and ground that all down, got it all hooked up. Rest of that's all done. I don't know what all I told you a while ago, but yeah, we're here pretty close. Got to do this. Went ahead and ground this. Remember how fat that was right there? Went ahead and made that nice and thin like the other one. Issue is even this one here. I was bragging about it on the other deal, which worked out fine. It's not gonna give me enough to get down in there. So I may have to break down and buy one of those stinking spot welders that Tom's talking about. The issue is I've got all these little holes I popped here, so yeah, I have to figure out something. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. Maybe they make a smaller tip, I don't know, and we'll find out. So I may look that up and see if they make a smaller tip that'll fit down in this tighter spot. So all right, well, you guys have a good evening, and I'll talk to you next time. See ya.